Hello and welcome back to the Crystal Game Agent series. So just as a disclaimer for this video, I'm going to be trying to improve my video quality in future videos. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, feel free to drop them below in the comments because I would love to hear them. But today I'm just going to be doing an overview of Octonet and how I'm going to add it to Crystal pretty much. So for probably a couple months, I've been working on this networking library in C called Octonet, and I hope that I can add it to Crystal to create online games because I like online games. This whole Octonet library is written in C, and Crystal is written in C++. Maybe asking, how are you going to make that work? Because those are two different languages. And if you didn't know, C is actually compatible with C++. You just have to do some things like this, like extern C, before including or basically doing function declarations. But since all the function declarations are actually in this file, you can actually just wrap the entire thing in an extern C and not have to like manually type out all the declarations of everything. I've been working on this for a while and I would say it's pretty much done. I mean, it has a couple things that could be improved upon, but it works, and that's pretty much just what I need to do. It does support IPv6, however, it requires port forwarding. If you don't know what that is, in conclusion, it's basically just opening a port on your router for other people to connect, and it's just a giant mess to set up and really hard to do. So yes, technically you could do IPv6 and play on like different Wi-Fis, but it would require a lot of setup, and most of the time it's probably just not worth it. And most of my games, while this does support IPv6, they will probably only be using IPv4. For convenience, I have written these header files for C++ for ease of use, just like quality of life, like in the deconstructor, just cleaning up resources for you and shutting down and stuff like that. So you don't have to like manually call destroy, free all these little objects like this socket and making it so you don't have to manually do that. So I have written C and C++ clients and servers, and they do work together. I haven't actually updated this client in a while for C, so it doesn't read and write. It's very easy to do. I just haven't quite done it yet, and I wanted to get a video out. The C++ one just uses this little header file, client.http, and then this is sort of the same thing as the server, just less complicated because it doesn't have to deal with things like multiple connections. In fact, this server is actually decently complicated. Has an initialize function, just sets everything up for you, and then processes packets, close connections, and then it has these little event functions for connecting and disconnecting, so you can know if like a client is connected or disconnected, things like that may be useful in video game creation. Anyways, I can show a demo here. So I'm going to use the C++ client and the C server to show that they do actually work together. Sending something from a C program to a C++ program, I'm going to be using the loopback address. This basically just means get a local IP address, and both of these are connecting to localhost. So I'm going to start this, and then it should compile with no warnings, and there we go. Octonet uses a packet system to more efficiently send data over the network. Data is added to a packet before being sent over the network and then extracted on the other system. This is quicker than sending just one at a time. So let's say we have system 1, we want system 1 to send over a vector 3 to system 2. Instead of sending the X, Y, and Z components by themselves, we pack them into one packet and then send over the packet, which is then extracted on the other side on system 2, where your X, Y, and Z positions are readable. So what I'll probably end up doing for adding this to Crystal is probably just using these headers that I've written, and then in the scripting add a interface for sending and receiving data, and then also have some like built-in scripts for syncing translations, rotations, and scale.